What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great night. We're here, of course, talking some birds, but we've got some other things happening around the league, so it's still sicko season. So for all of you sickos tuning in here, we're going to take a look at some notable cuts from around the NFL. We talked about the most recent signing, Isaiah Rodgers, suspended for this season, but he'll be playing next season. And one of the things, if you guys were tuning in, I was trying to make this video earlier, and then that signing happened. And, well, it was kind of why I wanted that kind of player. Isaiah Rodgers, unfortunately, can't play this year, but I'm still going to talk about it. So we're going to talk about a few notable names here. Then we're going to talk about the most notable name, as you can see up there, that I wanted to talk about earlier. So regardless of Isaiah Rodgers being signed, someone said, why would we sign Desmond King if we signed him? Well, simple as Isaiah Rodgers can't play this year. So that's why. But we're going to get through this. Appreciate each and every one of you tuning in, whether you're watching this live, watching this later. I would love to hear your thoughts. Maybe there's some other names you have on your mind. You like some of these names I brought with me. But whatever's on your mind, we're going to break it down. And then I'm going to break down Desmond King and why I think Howie needs to be on the phone getting this dude in the building. So let's get this bad boy started here. Jump over to the chat real quick before I jump over here and show you some of these cuts. But, appreciate you. Look, we got Tiffany in here. We got a few already. Let's rock and roll. You guys are awesome. You are my family here, and I can't do this without you. I love you all. And, the ankle is a little bit better. I got to give a shout out to the guy on YouTube who helped me with my neck. I was doing these crazy stretches today. It was wild, but neck's feeling better, ankle a little better. Finally able to get some things done. I want to get this damn room done. So I'm done with life trying to kick me in the saddles, but I appreciate you asking here. And look, I appreciate that. I have nothing but respect for each and every one of you. And I can't thank you enough for taking the time, tuning in. And you guys can let me know whatever is on your mind here. But you've seen the cuts the Eagles have made. I've shown you that. I've shown you every single move, and, my 53-man roster still stands. If you want to check out my projected 53, you want to see all the people that were cut, you want to see who's left, there's a video on who is remaining. All 70 players you can see, 17 cuts to go, so you can check out all those videos. But right now, we're going to talk about some other things that have happened and why I think the Eagles should be looking elsewhere in a couple areas. So let's effing go. Appreciate you tuning in, Steven, and you guys are family to me, and you've been – and some of you, are obviously new here, but that's all right. Like, I just mean that you guys have all, this family has been built when, I was on my deathbed. That's kind of crazy to me, finding peace in the Eagles, even though they drive us insane all the time. We love them with every inch of our being. And that's what started this. And you guys, who have been from the get, love you. Been here for a day. I love you too. And I appreciate each and every one of you. This is all about sharing that love, getting us all together, just enjoying our birds, trying to get excited for this season. Go watch our team win that second effing Super Bowl trophy. Let's go. But I really do appreciate you guys and your kind words, and really glad you enjoy all of this information, especially through sicko season. Hard times without our Eagles, but trying to get by as much as we can. 13 days away from game one, baby. So let's check out these notable cuts here. Howie, you got the shades on. He's ready to rock and roll. So a few names. Now, there were some other names that were let go, and I'm sure you guys can let me know some of the other ones you want to talk about, anybody that's on your mind. And there are a couple here that I could care less about, but I wanted to throw them on to talk about. So, DeAndre Houston-Carson. This is just in alphabetical order, no specific order. So, this is somebody we talked about, familiarity with Sean Desai over there in Chicago, and somebody that's played in the league for about 6-7 years, and he's a special teams ace. So, if you're looking for help in that area, maybe you want to try to add him. If he doesn't get added anywhere, you bring him to the practice squad. You never know, but that's someone, you could definitely keep your eye on. Desmond King. We're going to get into him in a second here. Christian Kirksey. That's another one that I would be more than thrilled if the Eagles thought about bringing him in. We got Zach Cunningham, and I talked about the fact that, I really like the addition of him over Miles Jack. And obviously Jack is retired now. If you bring him in, maybe he pushes out Morrow. There's a lot of opportunity there, and I really like Kirksey's game. Another veteran that could help out with these young guys here. Cole McCoy. Someone asked me about him, and, I'll be real with you. Look, he's not horrible. He's a good, serviceable backup, but to me, they brought Mariota in for a reason. He fits the system, and clearly you don't have to be the same kind of quarterback, but they like the veteran, and I know people feel a certain way about Mariota's preseason performance, but you'd hope he'd do better with the starters, and this is his 8th system in 9 years, so trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. We just hope that, we never need him until the games are pointless at the end of the year. We've already clinched, so to me, I'm good there. Now, punter Pat O'Donnell, been in the league about 9 years, most recently played for Green Bay, but he was with Chicago for a while there. We actually talked about him, I think, a year, maybe 2 ago when he was a free agent. And son of a bitch, here we are again. And ever since Cam Johnson left, it's been hard times. So Pat O'Donnell, a veteran that, he can hold the ball too. And obviously he would need to get that timing down with Jake Elliott. That's great. But, Britton Covey was holding for Jake Elliott last year. So if it needs to be done, it will be. We need someone that can actually effing punt. That's great. He can hold. Yeah, I'll hold it for you, dude. Come on. Now, up next, Malik Reed. He was with Pittsburgh most recently, but you might remember him with Denver. But just actually most recently this offseason trying to make it with Miami. That did not happen. Now, if the Eagles are to get rid of Derek Barnett, give him that trade request. You find someone willing to give you something you want in return to take on that dead money. Okay. Bring in another guy if you don't like Teron Jackson, but I think Teron Jackson could beat him out, but Malik Reed could probably beat out Janarius Robinson, so I threw him on there. Now up next, Anthony Schwartz. Got some return capability here, so this is somebody, I've had a lot of you ask me about this, and I told you, look, I'm looking for some help all over the place, and if he can help you with some wide receiver depth, I don't know that he'd be better than Covey. I mean, I would like an off season to see that, so it sucks when these guys get waived or cut. But these last couple guys with the asterisk there, you can see the bottom right key there. That means they were waived. So therefore, you can't just sign them. They actually have to go through the waiver process. And if you do, then you put them on your active roster. Or you can let them see if they go unclaimed, and then you try to put them on your practice squad, whatever. But the next guy there is Corliss Waitman. And he was punting for Pittsburgh and Denver the last couple of years, and this offseason was with New England before being waived there. So another punter. I don't care, man. I'll take Greg McDickens off the street if I need to. Somebody's got to give Aaron Sipos some kind of run for his money here. But those were the notable cuts that I saw from around the league today that I thought piqued my interest. But tomorrow, you're going to see a lot more. And obviously, all teams have to be down to 53 by 4 o'clock. So we're going to be talking about it throughout the day. I will be keeping you posted as I have been doing. I will post all of the things in each little social media platform down below. Then we'll have a video recapping everything after 4 o'clock. I'm sure the Eagles will continue to do crazy stuff, but we've talked about this. Remember, last year, August 30th, we traded for C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Tomorrow's the 29th, so just stay patient. Maybe they want to do something. They want to sign somebody, trade for somebody. They can do that. They have over $13 million of cap space. I'll give you that number once all of this stuff moves around. And, oh, boy, I'm pretty excited here. And remember, that off-season cap is going to change because once it hits the regular season, now you're including everybody, all 53 players on the roster, the IR, the practice squad, all that stuff, the dead money, everything gets counted in here. Now, in the offseason, we talk about it's only the top 51 cap hits. Remember that. So I'll keep you up to date with all that, just letting you know that right now. But you've seen the cuts. Let me know how you feel about them. Which players would you like out of that pool? Is there somebody else that was out there that you like? Now, I'm obviously going to talk about the one guy I really like here. And let me just explain it to you why this tickles my fancy. Because, we've talked about a few things here. And clearly, special teams is an issue, not just with a punter, not just, the special teams unit as a whole. What's going on, my man Twisted? But talk about the return game as well. So that's why I'm talking about Desmond King here today. And yes, I think that Kirksey would be a great addition to this defense. I would be excited to have him, definitely. I think that he and Cunningham back together, that would be great. And look, it's not even going to be competition for Sipos. You don't have time for that. You just let his ass go and bring somebody else in. That's what it would be. So, you could bring somebody in for a week and see what you've got here, but you're cutting down to 53. So I don't think you're giving a spot to two punters here, but we're going to see. Maybe we could try to get one on that practice squad. Hopefully they can beat him out and then you can cut him. But I just, oh my God, I just don't know if you really want to keep around, period. But Again, he holds for Jake Elliott. So now Desmond King, to me, obviously we had ourselves a little bit of an injury as well. So that's why this stands out to me so much. So let's take a gander here at Desmond King. Who is Desmond King the second? Well, this dude, look, I'll be honest with you. I know him very well because of fantasy. We play with defensive players, and I always like to go after dudes that not only play defense, but also can help you in the return game. So I'm familiar with him, but 28 years old, 5'10", 200 pounds, 7th year in the league. He's played at 6. He's out of Iowa. Round 5, pick 151 in 2017. He has played for the Chargers, Titans, and the Texans. And look, for me, I talked about it. He's good on defense. I love his style. I love his play. I think, he does it all, man. He's what you want. He's just like Avonte Maddox, where you can send him on the blitz. He's tough. He'll man cover, play him in zone. I really like what he's able to do. Play him inside, is preferable there. I mean, you dabble outside, but inside corner, physical guy. Look, he started 53 games out of 95. He has 9 picks, 33 passes deflected, 426 tackles. 27 of those for loss, 8.5 sacks, 16 quarterback hits, 3 forced fumble, and 7 recovered. This dude, a knack for the ball. And he was an all-pro back in 2018 for being a defensive back and a returner. So first team and second team all-pro there in 2018. Just to give you an idea, obviously 5 years ago, but the dude's got talent. And talking about defense, hell yeah, you want help there because Zach McPherson was banged up. But the return game, man, we talk about who's going to be punt returner, who's going to be kick returner. Why don't you get a guy that can do both? And we've talked about this extensively, ladies and gentlemen. And this is one of the people we talked about maybe as a trade piece. And, well, now you don't have to trade for him. Here he is. And he has over 1,200 kick return yards in the NFL, 22.5-yard average. No touchdowns, but he does have 2 punt return touchdowns, averaging 9.1 yards per return. And he's fun with the ball in his hands, whether it's an interception, a kick return, a punt return. But that is my whole point here. We talk about, Zach McPherson, what he was able to do, and they were trying to use him as a returner because, him with the ball in his hands, he's a playmaker as well. We talked about that when we drafted him. But Desmond King, man, he provides you that depth behind Avonte Maddox. And look, I like Mario Goodrich, but, and Ricks and Garner, I think both have a chance, but I think more so using them outside. I think as they're part of the team, you can, try to work them in inside. You could try to work them in at safety. You do a lot of things with them, but right now, they were predominantly outside. You're not just going to trust them as, Avonte Maddox backup so much. So this is a veteran that much starting experience, and I love his play style. I think he would literally be the perfect backup to Avonte Maddox. There could be dime packages where you have him as that 4th defensive back on the field, man. Or I'm sorry, the 6th. So I think that really for me, the 4th corner, I like this dude a lot, and I think it's pretty apparent that I do. But what he's been able to do on defense, that would help immensely. But he would just be our returner. Like, he would be a depth piece that returns. Like, he would help you on defense and in the special teams, whereas you're keeping Covey, and he's literally only your punt returner. That's it. He's your punt returner. Then you got Boston Scott, who's probably going to be on the roster as your 4th running back, but he's not really that great. He's serviceable as a kick returner. I love Boston Scott. Don't get me wrong, but he's really not blowing off the charts there. Oh, my God, he's back. Everybody's kicking it to him. Man, it's just Boston Scott. You put Desmond King back there, that makes the opposing team have to think twice about kicking or punting. And again, if something happens and he is your nickel cornerback, then you have other guys that are serviceable. Olamide Zaccheaus can punt return. Rashad Penny or getting kick return. So you've got different pieces still, but you don't need to waste these other spots. I think for me, it's a simple no-brainer kind of move. And, obviously he'd have to be okay with being a depth piece. I think at this point in his career, though, being able to come compete for a Super Bowl, I think, honestly, no-brainer move here. I'm hoping tomorrow I'm here putting my Miss Cleo ball right here, and we're talking about how we signed Desmond King because I think he would be a great addition. And, let's take a look at these cornerbacks here. I've said, look, yeah, I love the back end guys. I don't think Josiah Scott's making this team, but when you're looking at Garner, Ricks, Goodrich, there's definitely space on the practice squad for them. One of them probably going to make this active roster, maybe two. Maybe you keep Ricks and Garner, but I mean, it's going to be tough. But if you would bring him in, if you bring in King, then you've got Slay, Bradbury, Maddox, and the backups are Job, Ringo, and you've got Desmond King. And they can all help out. The seventh guy could be Ricks or it could be Garner. And, you stash whoever on the practice squad. Man, I would be all for that. Seriously, I would love it. I would love it. And, I mentioned the returners here, and, there's Covey and there's Scott. And I think that obviously a bevy of guys that they were just kind of throwing back there in Trey Sermon and Justin Evans. And we talked about Zach McPherson was back there at one point. I know they tried Devin. He had a great 73-yarder, and he hadn't done that in like 10 years. He did it like a couple times in practice for a week there. So, you've got options, but I don't know. Nada, Allen, they're not going to be on the active roster. Sermon's not going to be on the active roster. Now, the guys that will, you've got guys like Quez, not so sure. Evans, I'm not sure if he's going to make this roster, but serviceable. Now, Olamide, I like him as a punt returner. Penny, like him as a kick returner. So, again, you don't have to add Desmond King, but it's the fact that he not only gives you that kick returner and punt returner, it's just one person that can do both. Oh, but honestly, they are two different beasts. They really are. But it's the same, as kicking and punting. That's why the punters and the kickers, people are like, why aren't they doing, just doing both? It's two different beasts. So I think the fact that he can do both, it shows you how sure-handed it is. He's a playmaker on defense. So if anything were to happen, and unfortunately, Avante does have somewhat of a history, one of the best nickel corners in the game, love the dude, but things do happen, and you want to ensure if you're going for a Super Bowl, you have depth across the board, and we have that. Now, we've got depth at corner. It's not that we need him. I'm just saying the fact that he provides that on defense, and you feel me? Do you feel what I'm saying? On defense and special teams, it just means so much to me that I think he's the perfect addition, what we've been talking about. And hilariously enough, around 6, I was trying to make this video. Then we signed Isaiah Rodgers. Well, it was like 5:30, but he's the same. That's what I was talking about. I was getting ready to talk about what we're here talking about, and he's going to be perfect. But that's next year. Now, he's got 4.28 speed. Isaiah Rodgers. Woo, baby. I am excited about him. So awesome. But let's go get us a 1-year rental in Desmond King until Isaiah Rodgers comes next year. So let's go, baby. That's just my opinion, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. Maybe you like some of those other guys more. Maybe you don't like Desmond King at all. Maybe there's someone else you would rather have. Let me know what is on your mind. But, yeah, that's all I've got for you tonight. Let me jump over here, see what you guys have to say here. What was the purpose of restructuring his contract if you wanted to trade? Well, that's for the Eagles, as we explained when that happened. You are moving money around to save in the future, and he was just getting money up front. So that was the purpose of that. This computer just loves like freezing up. Sorry if I'm lagging. I'm trying to click on I'm just going to read some of these because it's just not allowing me to click on them. Excited for the cornerback we signed today, even though we won't see him. Yeah, man, he's exciting. I'm very excited. 4.28 speed. I talked about it in the video earlier. This past season, I think it was a 58.1% was the completion percentage that he allowed against opposing wide receivers. So he did good as a nickel corner as well. So I'm very excited about his future. Very excited. But look, for now, right now, this is what we want right now, right? So, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, Donnie. And I really think this would be a perfect addition. This would be that missing piece, right? That I've been, now we need a punter still, but the return man. You guys remembered months ago when we talked about Desmond King, talked about a few other pieces, guys that can do both, kick returning and punt returning. I feel that would be perfect for this damn roster. Just being real with you, but I hate this damn chair. But, my man, appreciate you tuning in. I feel like it's always backwards there. What about Isaiah Rodgers? What about him? Go check out that video as I was just talking about him extensively there. Bet Jake can punt. Well, yeah, but not at an NFL level where you would trust that. So that's why. Dina, appreciate you tuning in. Nice to see you. Found you again on Twitter. It's always a battle royale trying to find everybody. This new account, son of a bitch. But hope you're doing well. Nice to see you in here. Appreciate you tuning in. Hope Mama and Eagle are doing well. Hope you are well. Hope you're ready. 13 days away. Ready to run through a damn wall. Let's go, birds. But I hope you are well, you and the family, and really can't thank you enough. And hopefully, I don't know why I don't see your tweets. I thought I have the notifications on, but we're back to square one with this Twitter thing. Son of a... But why? Because he was suspended for that gambling. But yeah, you guys want to check out that Isaiah Rodgers video, you're more than welcome. And would love to hear your thoughts on it if you do. But that's all I've got for you this evening. If you have any thoughts on Desmond King, any of these other notable cuts from the NFL today, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. But I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be talking about all 17 of the cuts or trades or whatever happens to these players. Maybe Trey Sermon is shipped to Derek Barnett. We will find out tomorrow. The Eagles roster will be at 53. I'll be breaking it all down with you, but keep your eyes open throughout the day because I will be, as soon as the moves are made and I am free to do something, I will get that information to you. But I hope you're all having yourselves a great night. Until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. If you got anything from this video, do me a favor, hit that like button down below. You can always subscribe and join us live later whenever. You know we're always down to talk some birds in these parts. But I truly cannot thank all of you enough for taking the time. I got so much to do here. My damn body here, if it just bears with me here, I could get some more done. But killing me right before the season. But look, you guys are awesome, and cannot thank you enough. If you need anything, you know you can always reach out any of these platforms down below, whether it's about birds, about life, whatever it may be. If you have any questions about what's going on, you don't understand something, you know, I have no problem always taking the time because you guys take the time for me. So try to give that back to you. I love you all. Hope you're having a great night. But yeah, until next time, you stay safe out there. And as always, go birds!